I've watched business owners make $500,000 of profit in a year, the next year barely break 100K. And there's something that happens, and most business owners can make this mistake when it comes to things going well in the business. I don't want to call it greed, but it kind of is, and not in the way you think. By the way, my name's Tyler, and in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what this business owner did wrong. You're probably about to do the same thing if you're watching this video, and this simple fix that could actually help you avoid making some of these mistakes. So, this business owner had a marketing company, good clients, steady income, everyone's happy. It was a lot of work, but they hit a plateau. And most business owners, when they seek a consultant, they're typically at plateaus. So they were making the same money month after month, but they weren't actually growing. And that's when trouble started. Instead of being patient and observing and creating a strategy to increase their net revenue, they thought, I should be making more money for all this work. So they ended up adding a bunch of new services, which led to them chasing different clients. And it ultimately diluted the brand because they tried to be everything to everyone. 18 months later, they no longer exist, and the original clients ended up leaving because they stopped focusing on what made them successful in the first place. They got distracted by shiny objects, and they didn't double down on the things that worked. And this might seem obvious because every business owner goes through the same pattern. You start making money, you plateau, you panic, you change a bunch of stuff, and then you end up in the same place but in a different package. So, unless you know the actual process of getting through a plateau without destroying what you build, you may end up just running in circles. A good example of this is I have a client who did the opposite. So, this was a client who was working in the vegan recipe, vegan diet space. And they had a website that was making okay money, wasn't growing fast enough for their liking, though. Instead of adding 10 new features or chasing a completely different market, they did something simple. They decided to do a cold market strategy where they took $1,000 and tested it across 10 different types of their core audience. So it was only $100 per ad set, and each ad set reflected a core audience archetype. 9 of those customers barely broke even. 9 audiences, hardly. One of them made them 10x return on ad spend. That's the gold mine that you'll see. The difference between the marketing company that went broke and this website that actually did well is that the broke company changed everything at once based on what they felt like should work. And the successful company tested one thing at a time, each audience in their respective subset, and then they let the numbers help them determine who is their highest value audience that they could scale. And what most business owners get wrong is that when business is good but not growing, they think the answer is just to add more, which isn't inherently correct. The answer is usually to do the same things you do well, even better, or find more people who already have what you want or want what you have. If you sell hot dogs, and this is going to be a horrible example, but I had to write it quickly. So if you sell hot dogs at a football stadium, simple macroeconomics, and there's also a fancy lobster roll stand next to you, they may be making more per customer. And most people would think, oh, I need to make this hot dog like an artisan hot dog so that I can charge more. But it's actually a backwards way of thinking about it. The smart move is to assess who is your audience type and if the novelty aspect of what your food is bringing to people. They go to a game, they want to have a hot dog with it, then your strategic moves would be doubling down on the novelty. So this could be include strategic brand partnerships with the actual team. This could be creating revenue share or giving proceeds of every sale to a certain cause that supports the tradition that people choose every time they go. And that way, you're not competing on the artisan factor. You're doubling down on the factor that made your product successful in the first place. And that's a really, really easy example. But I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. And the point is that you don't need to change your product. You just need to get better at connecting with the people who do already want what you have. So, action plan for somebody watching this is that you shouldn't make decisions based on what you think should work. Start making decisions based on what your numbers tell you. Second, if something in your business is working but is plateauing, don't change it. You should double down on it. Spend more money getting the same customers who are already buying, and then use that money that you've lined your bank account with to test and even do further research, both qualitative and quantitative, on what that audience is and the different subsets that exist in the existing set of audience that you serve. That was a lot of syllables. Third, you just want to try something new, cool, start small. Don't make it your all in thing. Don't bet your whole business on a hunch. Take a tiny budget, try one new thing, measure the results, and be patient. That's the most important thing. You need to give your tests enough time to produce results before you panic and change everything or write it all off. Building a business is sometimes like being a gold miner. People find a little gold and immediately start digging in 10 different directions. A smart miner or prospector finds gold and digs deeper in the same spot. That marketing owner I told you about, they're back in business. They spent time focusing on what they're already good at instead of chasing every shiny opportunity that comes along. They're doing okay. Don't worry about them. Again, I'm Tyler. If you want to help figuring out where your gold mine is hiding, there's going to be a link below this video. You can get my book. It's a great way to get introduced into my world. I don't do anything high pressure. I just let you lean in and learn. And if you hear stuff you like and you feel like it might be a fit, we can talk about what that looks like. But if you're a business owner, you need to ask yourself, am I doing this because I have proof that this will work or just that I hope it will? And your future self will thank you for getting that answer right.